next question, part C, where it says we have this alteration to the loan schedule. We need to find out what happens if she pays an extra £2,500 after her 14th payment. So the first thing to do is to copy the worksheet and rename it. So you would go to the bottom and right click and say move or copy. Then click on create a copy and move to end. I always find this process of copying a worksheet slightly clunky, but you can manage it. So click on OK, then you rename it by double clicking and typing in the new name, pay lump sum. And we'll go and see the alterations we need to make. So the extra payment is immediately after the 14th payment. So we'll simply edit that payment to plus 2,500. Now all the subsequent payments are going to be different, so we'll just delete those cells. There will be a new loan amount, so we'll make a new cell for new repayment, and not a new loan amount, a new repayment, and we'll just say a little bit less, but you could guess what that would have to be, £150. And we'll make an absolute cell reference to this new repayment. The formatting is not hugely important. So equals, and you can go and click on the cell, or you could type in equals C6, make it an absolute cell reference, and again I'm messing about with the formatting here to try and just make it look a bit neater and fill it down. So now we can do the goal seek as we did before. So we want the final cell to have the value of 0, goal seek, by changing the new repayment. Once we're done, we will round the new repayment. Now you can round it up or round it down. We'll see what happens in both cases actually. So I'll round this down to 0.70, and now we need to adjust the final repayment, final balance plus final interest. So we see that the new repayment would be the final repayment would be slightly more at £144.77. Now let's see what happens if we round the other way, and we'll do it this way because that's what the marking scheme does. So just to check, it's easier to check we've done it right. So if instead we make that £104.71, automatically, because of the way we did the formulae, the final payment will be £104.44. So now in part 2, we need to find out how much Carol will have saved in interest payments. So we are comparing the total interest on the first worksheet with the total interest on the second worksheet. But we want to do it all on the new worksheet. So we'll make some new cells at the top for the totals and the difference. So we'll just say total interest 1, total interest 2, and the amount saved. I guess you could have said total amount, pay lump sum, total amount originally. So the total interest 1, really the only way you can do this is with the sum function. So equals sum, and now we need to reference the cells on the first worksheet. So the way to do this is you click on the original tab, then highlight all of the cells you want to add up. So we want to highlight all of these interest contents, and then type in a close bracket and press return. So the first way she was doing it, it was a total interest of £871.31. Now we do the same thing for the new worksheet, pay lump sum, which is slightly easier because we don't have this cross reference thing, and at the end we need a close bracket. and to find the amount saved, first one minus the second one. And here are all the formulae for the for the bit we just did. Now you see there is this unusual syntax where it's referencing the original worksheet with double quotes and an exclamation mark. You don't need to worry about learning that syntax yourself. You can just do it the way that we did it by clicking and highlighting. And that's us done with this part of the question. And again, don't forget to save and print value view and formula view, and make sure you hand it in at the end. So in part D, we are kind of seeing the story behind this question. In part A, we looked at the interest that she would get by just putting this money into a bank account, savings account. In part C, we saw how much she would save in interest by making this extra payment on her loan. And we saw in fact in part C that that was a greater amount she would save than just putting the money into a savings account. So why might she not take that option up? Why might she just put the money into a savings account? So you have to think of something, and I always find these questions difficult. But the reason that she might just want to put the money into a savings account is that she does have the option of using that money if she has some extra thing that comes up. So for example, if her car breaks down, or she has some emergency she has to deal with, she has this money on hold. So that's what you would state. She still has the option of using that money if she keeps it in a savings account. If she just uses it to pay off her loan a little bit early, then she no longer has the choice of what she does with that money. So she can keep access to the money, e.g. in case of emergencies. It means that she's potentially more prepared. Although I would advise, if you have a similar situation yourself, you should probably strongly consider paying off loans if you can,